Hello and welcome to the podcast. I have some very exciting news today. I have news of a new workshop in a new location where I've never taught before, never been to before, in the north of England. So I'm really excited about that because so far all my workshops have been in the south of England and in South Wales and Jersey. Furthest north I've taught is Birmingham area. Apart from at Yarndale, I've taught at Yarndale a few times, but all my other workshops have been in the south, and I'm going north in June, so I'm really excited about that. So I'll tell you about that in a minute. I also have two offers that are due to finish this Sunday. 50% off yarn, 25% off a pattern, so don't miss out on that. I'll talk more about that after the intro bit. And then I finished two things, both had a bit of hiccups, and I swatched for one thing that I talked about last week. I swatched for that last night actually, because I couldn't sleep very well. I made a little bit of progress on something else. I got two project bags here. One I know what's in, and I don't think I've touched it since last week. The other one, I'm not even sure what's in it, but it was in my basket, so I brought it upstairs. So let's have a look and see what's in there. So I hope you enjoyed today's video. If you're new here, my name is Anniken. I design knitting patterns. I teach knitting workshops online and in person, and I sell yarn through my website YarnAddict.co.uk. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, and if you haven't subscribed yet, please consider subscribing. I've got two offers that are still running. They end on Sunday. So one is for my mosaic scarf, just using one ball each of Yattagar merino cotton in two different colours. I filmed a little reel where I put together some different colour combinations. It is filmed in vertical because I filmed it as a reel for Instagram and short on YouTube and things like that. But I am going to put that in here so you can see what the different colour combinations look like. It's a very easy mosaic scarf, quite a nice accessory. The merino cotton version is a bit lighter, so it's perfect for spring. So if you live somewhere where it doesn't get warm till a bit later in the spring maybe, this would be a perfect accessory to knit now and use as a little spring scarf, or knit it now ready for the autumn. Make a very good present because there's not a ton of knitting and a ton of yarn, and this yarn is quite affordable. You can of course knit it in any DK yarn. So I have 25% off this pattern at the moment. I'll put the code on the screen. That's valid on Payhip and Ravelry, and they will be linked below this video. So just go below this video and click show more, and you'll find all my links, including the links to my Payhip and Ravelry pattern shops, where you can find this pattern. It's called Bergen. And then I also have 50% off my website, which also ends on Sunday with the code 15 off. I'll put that on the screen as well. That's YarnAddict.co.uk. I normally set my discount codes to finish a day later than I actually tell you. So if you're watching this a bit later, these codes will still work on Monday. Depends a little bit on what time zone you're in, but if you're in Europe, they'll work for most of Monday, I think. If you're in other time zones, I'm not sure. That's why I normally set them to finish 24 hours later than what I say, so that I know that they will work for most people until the day I say they finish. So I'm going to Black Sheep Wools in Cheshire in June to teach some workshops. I haven't taught any workshops away from the southwest since before COVID, apart from at Yarndale. I've taught at Yarndale, but I haven't taught anywhere else. And before COVID, I was mainly teaching workshops in the south of England and south of Wales, apart from when I taught at Yarndale. So I'm really excited to be heading to Cheshire to Black Sheep Wools, big yarn shop. They're a big online shop. They're family run. They're not one of these big businesses owned by investment companies and things. They're a family owned business, big online shop. They also have a big craft barn. I'd met quite a few people who've been there. I've never been, and I'm really excited because it looks fantastic, and everyone I've spoken to who've been there says really, really fantastic. So I'm really excited about that. So I'm teaching mosaic knitting on the 27th of June. So if you fancy knitting this scarf, but you haven't done mosaic knitting before, that would be a perfect workshop. You get to choose between whether to knit this scarf or a pair of hand warmers. I'll put a picture on the screen because I can't find them at the moment. I don't know, I need to tidy up all my workshop stuff. So that is on the 27th of June. And day after, on 28th of June, I'm teaching traditional Norwegian Selby mittens. I'll pop a picture of the screen. So traditional Norwegian colourwork mittens. I may also, I'm hoping I'll have time to design a new pair of mittens and hand warmers by then. So if you don't like mittens, you can do hand warmers. I have 3-4 patterns to choose from, and there may be another one before then. I'm thinking about knitting a pair possibly when I go to Norway in May. I'm thinking, because it's a nice small project to knit. So that's on the 28th of June. They're both full-day workshops. The workshop price, I think, includes the yarn. You just need to bring your needles. All the details are on their website. I'll link the 2 workshops below. And I hope I will see you at Black Sheep Rules in Cheshire. I'm very excited about it. Let's talk about what I've been knitting this week. So last week I was talking about this headband, I think, that I was knitting in Norway. This is Spectrum Fibre. Yes, I'm pretty sure it's Spectrum Fibre. I've written the pattern for this. I decided I also wanted to knit it up in Hjertegarn Merino cotton, because this is a yarn that I stock, so that means it shows I can do kits for it. It doesn't use a lot of beads, so I'm thinking about actually breaking up some bags of beads and putting in the amount needed for this design plus a little bit extra. So I cast this on last week. I finished it over the weekend, but I didn't get around to blocking it straight away. I didn't manage to block it. It was on Sunday, I think, I blocked it. And Monday, I filmed a video where I show you how I sew the short ends together to create this kind of knotted effect. And then I put it on, and it was way too long. I thought when I blocked it, I thought this is blocked out quite a lot bigger than the original one. And this one I didn't actually block properly. So this one I knitted when I was traveling to Norway in February. I knitted it on the train and at the airport. I finished it at the airport because I knew it was likely to be cold when I arrived in Oslo. I actually sewed it together so I could wear it straight away. So I didn't block it. I just kind of gave it a bit of a pull in all directions. But it was quite cold when I arrived, and waiting for the train, I had to wait outside. So I put it on, and so I could wear it, and then I tried to like steam press it when I got to my parents. So it's not properly blocked, but this one I blocked before I sewed it together, because that's the only way you can really block it properly. So let me try and put it on, show you what it looks like. Sewed it all together, blocked it, sewed it together, put it on, and it basically just fell down. It was way too big. So I undid I hadn't woven in the end, so I undid the seam, took out 1 repeat, tried it on without sewing it up. Decided that still wasn't, still was a little bit too big, so I took out, I think, another half repeat. So I ended up taking 1.5 repeat out yesterday. The good thing about that was that the first attempt, I filmed it as a tutorial, so that will be a link in the pattern when the pattern comes out. And then when I had unpicked it and ripped some back, I sewed it together again on camera, but this time I filled it in vertical. Vertical. Horizontal for a tutorial, vertical for a reel to go on Instagram and YouTube Shorts, and possibly also on TikTok. So at least I managed to film all the content I needed for that, which was very good. So I'm quite pleased with that. So this one I will probably keep as a display sample to use for displaying at shows and things like that. I will probably create some kits for this, for YarnAddict, maybe also from my website. I do have an idea for some kits I want to do for YarnAddict with a little bit extra to make them more beginner friendly. So if you haven't done lace knitting before or beaded lace knitting before, this would be a really good project, and it will include certain extras which I'm not going to talk about yet. So pattern will be going off to my tech editor. No, the pattern went off to my tech editor yesterday. She said she'd probably get it back to me early April, but I'm away for nearly a week in early April, so it may not be finished till like end of April, beginning of May, depending on how many mistakes I've made in the pattern and how many times it has to go back and forth, bearing in mind I'm away for a week and then we've got Easter and things like that. So it may not be out for a while yet, but you know, it's a winter accessory, so I'm not sure about whether I should be releasing it in the I'm not sure that I should be releasing it in the late spring, early summer anyway, or whether I ought to just wait and release it early autumn in time for Yarndale. So I haven't quite decided on that yet. I'll make a decision when the pattern is ready, but I'm really pleased with it. Love this colour. This is YarnAddict Merino Cotton in the colourway 1620. And it's one of my favourite colourways, and I am using this for another design as well at the moment. Okay, so the next thing I finished is a new version of this. So I talked about this version last week. This is a Norra version, and I bought this yarn in Norway in the sale at my mum's local yarn shop. It's 100 gram, but it only has 300 meters. So when I got home, I decided to knit it up in the yarn that I actually sell, so I can display it at shows and things. And I have knitted it up in Zaberball. It's a new one. Hang on, Zaberball Sterke 6, which is a 6-ply, which I guess is like a thin DK yarn. And this is just off the blocking boards this morning. Again, I had a bit of a hiccup. I was desperately trying to finish it last night, and I worked out that I would probably be able to do 28 repeats in total. And I did that. I weighed the yarn. I thought, oh, maybe I can do one more. So I started doing another one. I did 6 rows, and I weighed the yarn. I thought, no, I'm going to have too little yarn left, because I like to have a bit of a safety margin. I would have been fine doing an extra repeat, but I was worried that I wouldn't have enough of a safety margin. So I ripped back 6 rows, cast off, and then blocked it last night because I was desperate to finish it for today so I could talk about today, because I felt like I didn't have very much to talk about today. So it's an asymmetrical shawl, very simple, with some picot along 2 of the edges. This is how I would wear it as a scarf. You can also wear it as a shawl, but this is how I would normally wear it as a scarf. And then this one, which is a little bit smaller, I'll hold them up together in a minute, see if I can show you the difference. This one I would just fling over like that. Oh, that goes quite nicely with my top this morning, doesn't it? So I do like this one. The pattern is ready to go to my tech editor. I just need to add the final measurements and tension and things for this version, and just read through it and make sure it's okay, and then I can send that off to my tech editor tomorrow. I'm planning to have a bit of a pattern writing day tomorrow. Today's a bit of a content day, filming and editing some videos, and then I got dentist appointment soon. I got 20 minutes to finish filming this video, and then I gotta go. And then I'm going to the gym this afternoon. So tomorrow is going to be a bit of a pattern writing day. So that is the first one. So that's where the Norra one finishes, and then that's how much longer the Zaberball one is. The Norra yarn is a little bit thicker. It's 300 gram per 100, no, 300 meters per 100 grams. The Zaberball is 400 meters per 150 grams, I think. Let me just double check. 400 meters per 150 grams. So it's a, I would say, it's described for DK. I would say it's a light DK. Sports weight maybe in the US. It does have some nylon in it, but they now use, or polyamide, which I believe is the same as nylon. They now use this biodegradable polyamide. So it's like a little label inside explaining about that. So it's more environmentally friendly, I guess. Colorway I use is 2514, and this is how it knits up like. So I'm really happy with this. I really, really like it. I am going to finish the pattern tomorrow, as I said, get off to my tech editor, and then this pattern I will release when it's ready. I may ask my tech editor to do this before she does the lace headband, because I would like to release this before, because I know somebody has already bought the yarn for it, the Norra yarn, and is probably waiting for the pattern. Another thing I forgot to mention last week, it was here, but I forgot to talk about it. I ordered some stuff from Nipro, from my Nipro supplier, my wholesaler, and one of the things I ordered was just to see what these are like. They do these little notions pouches. So I got this one just to see what it's like. You can kind of use this as a purse, really. It has a zip pocket on the back, and then it has open pocket inside, and then it has another zip pocket on the back here. So on the back it has a zip pocket on the outside and one on the inside. and then it has like a snap closure. And it's, I don't think it's suede, but it feels like suede, but I don't think it is suede. It's faux suede, so fake suede. It's 13 by 9.5 centimeters, and it comes in a little mesh pouch like this, which is also quite useful for storing things. And I quite like it, and I was wondering, would you be interested? I don't know if it comes in any other colors, I can't remember. Would you be interested if I stock something like this? I'm thinking specifically for YarnAddict, but I could get some stock in my online shop as well. I'm trying to look for more notions to stock. So I just ordered this one because I had to order some other stuff wholesale from them. So I ordered one of these just to see what they're like. So let me know if you would like me to stock that, if you'd be interested in that. I don't know if it comes in other colours. It says Nipro on the front. But it's quite nice. You could also use it, you could use it for your knitting notions, and you could also use it as a purse. So I quite like it. Let me know if you'd be interested in me stocking that. I can't remember how much they retail for. I'd need to look into that. But let me know if that would be something that you might be interested in the future. Let's look at the projects I need to focus on this week. I showed you this last week because I had cast on for it, but I haven't knitted anything since last week because I've been focusing on the headband and the ball shawl. No. This is a cushion. It's going to have a heart motif on it. I'm knitting it in Yataga Merino cotton in the light grey and pink. I haven't got very fast. I'll probably try and work on this today. I need to knit a swatch for a new magazine design, which I also talked about last week, and I was going to knit the swatch over the weekend, and I cast on for it. I knitted a few rows, and then I thought I need to chart out the pattern, and I haven't gone around doing that, so I haven't actually touched that at all. It's on my coffee table, and I need to finish that swatch today and block it so that I can write the pattern for it tomorrow. Then I need to look at the deadline and work out whether I'm going to knit it or whether to ask one of my sample knitters to knit it. Because we've got Easter and things coming up, I'm a little bit worried about asking them to do it, so I am thinking about just doing it myself. But I've got a few other things I want to get on the needles and finished, mainly small projects, and I'm going to be away for a week in April, although I can take that with me and knit in the hotel room and stuff like that. But that is on the needles, and I haven't made much progress on that, so we'll try and make some progress on that for next week. Another project, and I'm not sure what's in this bag. This bag is from Botanical Yarns. It kind of folds over, rolls. It's like a roll top bag, folds over, then you clip it together. I think I bought it because it had all these like bright pink splashes. Problem is I don't really like cream bags because they do get dirty. I don't know what that is. Looks like chocolate. So I haven't used it very often because I don't really like coloured bags because they just get dirty. But anyway, okay. So we have in here, we have some yarn, Yataga Merino cotton. Yataga Merino cotton. The last two shows I've done, YarnAddict last year and the year before, and Unravel this year. This yarn was incredibly popular. Loads of people were buying it on its own, and loads of people were buying it to knit my Glamour and Starlight Clutch. The Starlight Clutch, which is this one, hasn't been released yet. I'm probably going to release that pattern next week, so watch out for that. But I had it for Unravel, and this yarn was very popular. It's also very popular just for people. It was also very popular at YarnAddict last year. So I got yarn in here. I got some needles in here. I'm going to try out the new Chow Forte needles. I managed to order a set of the interchangeable needle tips. I've put them on with the swivel cables. I couldn't think what they were called. I think these are carbon ones, but I need to read up about them. They brought out the interchangeable set, I think, at the end of 2023 maybe, but it was a whole set of interchangeable needles and it was quite expensive. I don't tend to buy interchangeable sets anymore. The last one I bought, I think, was probably my Chow set, and now I will just buy individual needle tips and cables if I want to try out something new, because I have loads of needles and I don't really need any new ones. Sometimes I just buy them because I fancy trying them. So instead of buying a whole set, I just buy the interchangeable needle tips and cables. so that I can try the needles, but I don't buy a whole set of interchangeables anymore. And the Chow Forte set was very expensive. It came in a very nice case with some extra bits and pieces as well, and it was very nice, but I thought it was very expensive, so I didn't buy it. So I've been waiting for these needle tips to come out on their own, which they now are. I got mine from Pearlessence, so I'm going to try them on this project, and then I will do a video on what I think about them. So I was trying to think what I was going to knit with this. Knitted this in Norway. It's the same Spectrum Fibre pink that I used for the headband I knitted on the way to Norway, and then I used a Spectrum Fibre yarn from one of the clubs last year. So that was finished in Norway, and I've written the pattern, but I decided to knit it up in these two colours so that it will match this headband. I know one's colour work and one's lace, but that's fine. I thought I'd cast this on, but I haven't, so I'm going to try and get that cast on this week. I think the lace, I think the colourwork pattern, this heart pattern, is going to be the same on the cowl and on the cushion I was talking about earlier. I'm not sure if it's 100% the same or just similar, but I think it might be the same stitch pattern. I'm teaching a cushion workshop, I think sometime over the summer. So I want to prioritise that cushion because I want to finish that to get the pattern edited for that workshop. I'm not sure when it is. I think it's in June, so I want to get that cushion cover done first and then get the cowl finished. But I will be working on those two. I don't know whether I will be working on both of them this week or I'll just concentrate on the cushion and then do this. I don't know, but we'll see. I've done a few rounds on my socks, not a lot. I need to put a marker in this week so I know how much progress I make on it to next week. We went out over the weekend. We go out? We had some friends around on Saturday. Did I knit on this on Saturday when they were here? I can't remember. We didn't go out on Sunday, I don't think. But I think I knitted a little bit on it. And then on Monday I had a hospital appointment in Plymouth, an eye hospital thing. And last time I went, I had to sit there and wait for hours. I was probably at the eye hospital for at least 2 hours in total. I think I had to wait for like nearly an hour before I saw the first person, and then I had to wait for another like half an hour, 40 minutes before I saw the doctor. And then he couldn't print my prescriptions. I had to wait. I think it took him nearly half an hour to print it and write up his notes, which he had to do before he could print my prescription. Then I had to go to the pharmacy at the nearby main hospital to get my prescription, and I had to wait an hour and a half for my prescription. Luckily there's a coffee shop next door. So this time I thought I'm going to be prepared, so I brought my knitting and I brought my Kindle, and I didn't have to wait as long. I was seen quite quickly, so I was in and out of the hospital fairly quickly, and then I had to go and get my prescription, and they said it was going to be an hour and 8 minutes to wait, and they text you when you've handed in your prescription, and they said hour and a half, and it only took 45 minutes. So I sat in the coffee shop and knitted. So I think I was probably like down here last week, so I've done it a little bit. But I think that's 20 rounds. I've probably done 25 rounds since the rib. So I'm making very slow progress on this. But if we go out this weekend, I might get some more done. I'm going to put a marker in, if I remember, when I go downstairs. Actually, I've got my tool tin here. So let's get a marker out and put that in. Oh, that's a cute marker. Let's put that one in. So this one was made for me. It's supposed to be our dog, Alfie. So let's put this marker in so that next week, if I make any progress, I can tell you exactly how much. But I've done a few rounds on this week when I was in the coffee shop in Plymouth, but not a lot. But hopefully I will make some more progress for next week. Another project I'm thinking about casting on, because I have two colourwork projects, but I find it very difficult to knit colourwork all the time. So last week I was talking about this pattern I'd finished in Drops Air. I would like to, and that's the way around it is, I would like to knit this in a smooth yarn that I sell. So I was thinking about YarnAddict Merino Cotton, because you'd just take one of each colour. And then I thought I also have a Knit Pro Symphony, I can't remember what it's called, their DK yarn, which I haven't used for very many designs, and I'd like to knit up some more designs in that in time for Yarndale in September. So I was thinking maybe I'll use that for this, but I wouldn't use the whole skein. I wouldn't want to do it in two colours because then I would have to use 2 skeins, but I wouldn't use very much on each skein, so that feels like wasting money, really, making people buy 2 skeins when they don't need to. But I'm also thinking, because I have this to show a 2-colour version, I am thinking about just doing a 1-colour version. So I don't know whether to use the Symphony DK yarn, which I can't remember what it's called, or whether to use Yarn Merino cotton. But I might end up casting on that this week, because it would be something easy to knit in between the colour work. I find if I knit colour work non-stop, that it does aggravate my neck and my back a bit, because I do have to look at it. When I'm doing very simple lace knitting and garter stitch and stocking stitch and things like that, I don't have to look at it all the time. But when I'm doing colour work, because I have to make sure I get the colours right, I have to look at it more. That means looking down more, and that hurts my neck more. And the other design that I might be casting on for this magazine deadline, if I decide to knit that myself, that, I'm not going to say what pattern it is, but that would also require me looking at it more. Not on every row. Some rows would just be rib. So I may need like an easy project to do in between. Of course, I could work on my socks, but I could also work on this. So we'll see. I might cast on for that this week. Oh, and one more thing that I talked about last week, and which I haven't really done much about, and I was talking about knitting up a new sweater. It's the Monoceros Gray Merino in the colourway Lavender. I need to work out how much yarn I need and take it out of my shops before somebody buys it. I bought this at Spinny Yarn last week, and it's got little tiny sequins in it. Can you see that? It's Rico Design Creative Make It Blümchen, and it is like a sequin yarn, very thin, and I thought that would go really nicely with this one. So I bought that, and my plan was to knit a swatch before I did my workshop on Spinny Yarn this Tuesday, this week, and I didn't get around to it because I thought I had some of this, like a tiny ball left over somewhere from a recent design, and I couldn't find it. So then I had to wind that yarn, and I just didn't get around to doing it. And last night I couldn't sleep very well, so I got up in the middle of the night. So I thought, right, I'm gonna go and get that skein in here, take it downstairs with me, and just put it around my knees and wind off a tiny ball so I can start swatching. So that when I record today, I could at least tell you I've started swatching and show you what it's going to look like. So I started swatching when I was at Spinning Yarn on Tuesday. My plan was to work out how much yarn I'd need and everything, which obviously I hadn't done. So I just picked up another 4 of these, because then I'll have 5, and I think that should be enough. So I started swatching. And when I first started swatching, if you look closely at my swatch, I don't know how easy it is to see, but the first few rows down here, there are no sequins. And I was knitting and I was thinking, where are the sequins? Have they all fallen off? But I think the beginning, the first few meters, there are no sequins. And then they start coming. Don't know how easy it is to see that. I do really like it. I don't love holding 2 strands together. There are problems like down here. Don't know how easy it is to see that. Can you see there's a stitch there which looks very thin? I basically just caught the sequin yarn and not the merino yarn. Because this is a swatch, it doesn't matter, but on the finished design, that would matter. So that's why I don't like holding 2 or more strands together. But also, this is very fine, and I don't fancy knitting with that on its own. Somebody commented on my video last week, which I only replied to last night. So while I was knitting this, I was also doing a bit of browsing on YouTube. And one of you commented on last week's podcast saying somebody from your knitting group was knitting this yarn with a DK, holding it with a DK in lilac. And you kindly also told me where they got it from, and you said they got it from Wool in Bath. So I was like, because this yarn has it's really lilac more than blue. It's a bit bluey lilac, but it's a little bit of blue in it, but it's mostly lilac. And I thought, at Spinning Yarn, they had this colour, they had a pale pink, and they had a neutral colour. So I thought, well, this will go better with that yarn than the other colours. But I really fancied the lilac. So I went onto Wool Bath website last night. I'll pop their link on the screen. And I had a look, and they do have it in a lilac colour, like a light lilac. And I nearly ordered it last night, and then I thought, well, no, I might as well finish knitting this swatch, work out how much I'm actually going to need, and then order it, so I order the right amount. So I'm going to try and finish this swatch today, and then work out, see if I can finish it this morning so I can work out how much yarn I need and then order that, or I might just risk it and order 5. It's not that expensive, so we'll see. And then I'm kind of hoping that we get it by Saturday, but if I ordered it tonight or tomorrow morning, it probably wouldn't, I would expect. I don't know. But I'm thinking, because I'm having a pattern writing day tomorrow, I'm thinking I could write the pattern for this tomorrow, order this in lilac. I mean, yes, I know I got 5 of these, but I can use those for something else. But I just think the lilac will look better with this yarn, because this yarn is more lilac. So if they'd had lilac at the spinning yarn, I would have bought that, but I'll probably use that for something else another time. But I'm going to finish knitting that swatch this morning when I have my break and work out how much yarn I need. I don't know what to knit with it yet. I would like to knit, see if I can knit this sweater. So this is my pink sweater. I got it in grey as well, that I knitted last year. No, I haven't written up the pattern yet. It will be coming. I will be working on it over the summer and then release the pattern in time for autumn. But I was hoping I would knit up to the same tension as this, so I could use the same pattern. Because it'd be nice to show it to you in different types of yarn, because this is a fluffy yarn. It has the same meterage as this, but it's fluffy. This feels thinner because it is a singles yarn, but it has the same number of meters. So I was thinking, if I hold this other yarn with that yarn, then that might make it the same tension as this. I've also noticed on here, I thought, oh, what's it got a little run there? Can you see that? I think it's actually a stitch that has dropped down. So that's a bit annoying. So I'll need to fix that later. I've worn this quite a lot and I'm thinking about wearing it today. It's not going to unravel much further, I don't think. But it has unraveled a couple of rounds, so I need to fix that before it runs down any further. But I thought I would wear this today because I think pink and bright green looks quite nice together. Then I have a bright green bag from my favourite bag company. This one called Kelly Green. This is from a company called Pom Pom London. I do not have an affiliate link or anything, but I really like that. And I thought I'd change into that bag today because that goes nicely with this and with this pink, and use that for my appointments later. I got dentist appointment, then I got to go to the post office and collect the parcels, drop off some parcels, a couple other places. So I'm thinking about switching into that bag because it goes with this. Well, it doesn't go with this green. It's a bit brighter than this green. But I thought if I put this over this and then with the bright green bag, that's my plan this morning. Anyway, I need to go because I need to get ready to go to the dentist. So I hope you enjoyed today's video. I feel like it's a little bit of a chaotic podcast, but it's because I'm in a bit of a hurry. I've got a lot on today and I want to get this filmed this morning before I go to the dentist. And then I can edit it this afternoon while I do some knitting, and then tomorrow is pattern writing day. Don't forget the 25% off the Bergen scarf pattern is available from Ravelry and Payhip. Code and everything is below this video, and 50% off everything on my website, including all the yarn, my books, beads, notions, everything. That finishes also on Sunday. And then my workshops in Black Sheep Wools in their craft barn on 27th and 28th of June. Make sure you book it. Mosaic colourwork and Selbu, Norwegian traditional Selbu mitten colourwork. So for the Selbu mittens, you learn how to do stranded colourwork using one colour in each hand, and how to shape the mittens, put in the thumb, and all that kind of stuff. So I'm really excited about that. So I hope if you live in the UK, especially if you're in the north of England, that I might see you at Black Sheep Wools. Let me know what other workshops you'd like to see from me this year, and if you have a shop near you that hosts workshops, especially if it's a slightly bigger yarn shop, because a lot of yarn shops in the UK are tiny and they can't really host visiting teachers, because if I travel to teach, they have to pay my teaching fee, my travel expenses and hotel. So if they can only have like 4 or 6 people, it's not really worth their while, because they can't make enough money to cover my costs, the cost of getting me there. But if it's a slightly yarn shop can have like 8 to 10 people, then it might be more feasible. So do let me know. if you have a yarn shop near you that you know hosts workshops, tell them that they should ask me to come and teach, and tell me who they are and I'll get in touch with them, and maybe I can come and teach a workshop near you. So the Tuesday video this week was a review on the C-Knit circular bamboo needle. One of you told me about C-Knit, I'd never heard of them, and said that you'd heard that their bamboo needles were brilliant, as good as metal needles but in bamboo. So I went and ordered one. I got a fixed circular one. I think most of what they're selling is interchangeable ones. Somebody commented on their videos saying that their interchangeable needles were really good. The join was really good. So I was really pleased to hear that. But the video was out on Tuesday, so do go and check that ad if you want to. And then in a few weeks, I'll have a review of the Chogu Forte needles. Then I'm also thinking about doing a video on my favorite needles, because I've done so many needle review videos now. And so I'm thinking about doing a video on my favorite needles and why they're my favorite, and rank the ones that I've tried into which ones I like and why. I also did a video recently where I talked about how to choose which needles suit you. So I will link that needle review playlist below as well. Thank you very much for watching. I really appreciate it. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. And if you haven't subscribed yet, please consider subscribing. And I will see you next time. Thanks for watching.